Ready or not, here I come. Let me paint a picture for you. You're searching for your friends in the dark. Are you here? Are you there? And you hear a faint rustling. So you stoop down and you find a friend and you call them out. You're like, I found you fair and square. You look again, they've vanished. Turns out that wasn't their hiding spot at all. Not only that, there is no feasible way they could have gotten from that spot to the spot they're actually in. So what in the world did you see under there? Underwear? You saw underwear. Hey stranger, Elaine, Aeris here. Welcome. Let's hear about some spooky tales tonight, shall we? So our first ghost story is titled, This Happened Years Ago, and it still freaks me out. This is not something I am looking for advice on. It has been in my mind for so long and freaks me out whenever I think about it. Several years ago, I was hanging out with 4 friends of mine at Elle's house. It was getting late, and suddenly someone had the idea to go to the backyard and play flashlight tag, hide and seek. So I wonder how old they were when this occurred. Everything started out fine. We were laughing and joking with each other. Then it was my turn to seek. For context, Elle's backyard is shaped like a rectangle. Her back porch sits on the top of the width. In the bottom corners, there is a greenhouse on one side and a trampoline in the other. I closed my eyes, counted to whatever number, and then I went to look. Em was laying on top of the trampoline due to the fact that she didn't want to play in this round. So Em is just like, whatever, I'm on the trampoline. Don't bother me. I'll just watch. I looked under the trampoline and found R crouched in the corner by the fence. To finding him, I said, I found you, R. You can come out now. I said this as I was standing up, and when I didn't get a reply, I bent down again to find no one was there. R? How'd you do that, R? Where'd you go, buddy? R, you're kind of weirding me out a little bit. R, this isn't cute anymore. Where are you? This freaked me out. I then quickly went to find everyone behind the greenhouse, including R, who was on the far side. What kind of game of hide and seek is this, guys? We're all just going in the same spot. This meant that he couldn't have been under the trampoline, as there was no way he could have moved around this quickly. Along with this, he isn't the kind of person to play tricks like this. I told everyone what happened and was visibly freaked out. Em, who is R's sister, even confirmed that I had said I found R. Oh, okay. So Em was sitting on top of the trampoline. She confirmed you called out R. Unfortunately, I don't think M saw R, so we don't have a double eyewitness account, just a verbal. After this happened, we went inside due to the fact that I refused to be out there any longer. I don't blame you. M ended up telling me that what I saw would have been a mimic. Oh gosh, I do not like mimics. Frankly, I do believe in spirits, but when things happen, I try to find the logic first. Only there is no logic to this. I have had a similar encounter when I was younger, but I won't share that here. This still has to be one of the scariest things that has ever happened to me, and even years later, it still freaks me out. This is something I really just wanted to share, but I would love to know if anyone else has experienced something like this. I wasn't going to get back into mimics so soon, but here we are. We have a commenter here. Yes, also during hide and seek, so this person experienced something similar. My cousin had a stupid good hiding place, and I was getting desperate. I ended up checking the built-in cabinets in the unfinished basement. I spotted him on the top shelf of one, curled up so tight I couldn't see his head, just his legs tucked under his arms wrapped around himself. I shouted that I'd found him and he didn't move. I got upset because it seemed like he was cheating by ignoring me, but I realized he was incredibly still, and also that it was highly unlikely my maybe 8-year-old cousin had climbed into the top shelf of the cabinet, closed the door after himself, and waited all that time in a dark basement. Valid. I tore out of the basement and ran smack into him upstairs, laughing about winning hide and seek. When I checked that cabinet later, taking my brother with me for moral support, there was nothing up there that would have looked like a curled up kid. Cool. Oh my goodness, says OP. Can I ask, when you thought you saw him, was it dressed? And did it look just like your cousin? That is how I saw my friend. It was wearing what he was very much in color and looked just like him. Yep. I was so sure I'd found him. I remember feeling the excitement in my chest. I don't know if that's excitement so much as your body telling you that something's wrong. I didn't even get genuinely scared until I ran into him upstairs because I was still half sure it was him playing a trick on me somehow. I really do want to avoid talking about mimics for a minute after this because I'm worried that it's spilling over into my life. And my son saw something the other day that scared all of us. And we're hoping it's associated with a cursed record player we bought at Goodwill and we returned. More on that later. I actually ended up writing my own Reddit story and posted it because I was so weirded out. And it may be shared on a much bigger channel than mine. So exciting news on that one. I'll keep you posted on that. So I'm trying to avoid mimicry. We're avoiding mimicry right now. If not a mimic, maybe it was some kind of timeline split. I always find this very interesting. Multiple timelines. I don't want to believe that there are multiverses with multiple versions of ourselves because I do genuinely believe my soul is here and that if it was elsewhere, it would feel split. Now, there have been moments in my life when it feels as though it's trying to split in another direction, but it resolves itself once the timeline is selected. Does anyone else feel that way? I do personally think that I am here and this is where I am and that's it. Hopefully. OP's response to the potential of a timeline split. That is a good other explanation. I was actually just watching a video where someone was talking about this. I still think I'm here. When I am dissociating though, who knows? Fangs Bloodied Rose says, when I was a child, I decided to crawl under the bed and while I was crawling, saw a lifeless boy crawled past me. I wasn't prepared for that. We had no baby boys in the house. Anyway, they're demons. Saying Jesus gets rid of them. Okay, can we not get into the demonology? There are always people ready to jump onto the demon train. I myself don't personally try to go in that direction because here's what I think. I think that we are programmed for survival reasons to fear the unknown because the unknown is unsafe. We don't know what's going on with the unknown. So it often generates a fear response, especially when stuff is unexplained and there is no logical explanation. So if we start going down the route of this is a demon, this is evil, this thing is evil, this thing is evil, what happens is it starts to generate even more fear. And I believe if there are negative entities, they feed off of that. They love that. They love it. So if they are negative, you're just feeding the beast, right? And I think that anything bad would latch on to that negative energy. Now, this person is saying that saying Jesus will help, so you can try that. I'm open to anything when it comes to these things. If you just say, in Jesus' name, leave my house, cool. If that works for you, awesome. Some people pray to saints. I myself have my Santa Muerta rosary, which I learned after the fact that that's who gangsters pray to for protection. So perhaps I gravitated toward that for some reason. Luckily, I've never encountered a mimic. I think it would freak me out thinking you're with or see a friend and boom, they're gone. I would be very interested to hear your similar story. If you're ever up to posting it in the sub, I'll keep an eye out. So OP does have another story, but they didn't specifically give me permission to use that story, so I don't know if I can share it yet. They do have another mimic story that is quite fascinating, and perhaps I will be sharing it on a later date. Sidetrack. Ow, don't bite my feet. Stop biting my feet. You being a little cranky, girl. Wiggle, wag 'em. Oh, look how cute she is, though. Look how cute she is. Let me know if you have any thoughts about that. Have you guys ever seen a mimic? As much as I hate to ask because I'm trying to avoid thinking about those things right now, let's cleanse our palates by moving on to another ghost story, shall we? Okay, so we have here my scary story. When I was a little girl of about 7 years old, I woke up one morning and went out to our living room. Our front door had a draft under it, so my parents had taken to rolling up a blanket into a cylinder and laying it in front of the draft to keep the heat from escaping. This one morning, when I got up, my favorite aunt was rolled up in the blanket, and she looked at me and said, "Don't worry, baby. Aunt Bunnie is here, and everything is going to be all right." I excitedly ran to my parents' room to tell my mom that my aunt was here, only to have my mother tell me that the night before, my aunt had been in a horrific auto accident. That's so sad. And it's so sudden. Some young people had been drag racing down a 2-lane road and had hit my aunt's truck head on and flipped up on top of it. She was crushed and killed instantly. It's horrible. Oh, I remember reading this story a while ago, but I forgot it was so tragic. So my aunt came to say goodbye to me, and I have never forgotten it. I even remember the blanket was a white Chanel bedspread. Anyhow, that's my earliest ghost story. I have more, though. My little sister and I are sensitive to spirits. I'm in my 50s and she's in her 40s. It was almost as if the aunt wanted to comfort her and make sure that she knew it was going to be all right, and just sort of give her that little nod that, hey, there is more to life than meets the eye. I may not be physically here, but I'm still visiting, which is really sweet. We love you, Aunt Bunnie, and we hope you're chilling in heaven now, okay? Opie says, I truly believe that she couldn't move on until she saw me. Like I said, she was my favorite aunt. After such terrifying tales of haunting spirits, we have one you actually want to see, which is always good. A welcome entity. I've heard all sorts of tales of people having dreams of their loved ones saying goodbye. Those are actually more common. It's much less common for you to actually feel like you saw them. That's really cool. Thanks for joining me today. See you next weekend, maybe. And let's all collectively bid farewell to precious Aunt Bunnie. We love you, Aunt Bunnie. And we hope you're resting peacefully. We love you. Bye!